Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, today it's a guide to free resources for artists. So I'm just going to cover a few things. The links are down below in the description if you want to check any of these out. And I'm just going to go over a few of them. So let's see. First one, you might have just seen it pop up. Krita. This one is a free program for artists. It is not one that I have tried personally yet. And it's one that it will be something I think I'm going to try in the future, just to see how it compares to Clip Studio Paint and Paint Tool Sai, which I have also used. So, full disclosure, this is not one I have personally used, but it is a free resource, and I've seen many artists that I look up to and think create amazing art who use Krita. So, that's the first one I have for you. The second one is also another free drawing program, and it's GIMP. This one's really cool because despite Clip Studio Paint doing so many neat things that I do enjoy, one of its limitations is I can't export a transparent GIF. A GIF, if if you please. Yeah, fight about that one in the comments for me. So the limitation there is really annoying, and the way I get around it is by exporting my animation in Clip Studio as a series of images, and then I load the series of images into GIMP, which then lets me export that as a GIF. So, like, the other thing that it really is useful for is if you, say, don't have a tablet and you're trying to find ways to draw without using a tablet. GIMP actually has vector points, so you can drag and drop and use that as a method to create art if you feel that having a mouse makes you feel limited. I'll make a tutorial covering that kind of thing if you want to see how. Just let me know. I'm trying to make stuff more accessible for everybody, so, you know, why not start with free drawing programs? The one that I use personally is Clip Studio Paint here. This one is not free, but it does go on sale for about $15, I think 2 to 3 times a year. So if you see it on sale, maybe the price has gone up since then, but I'll have to double check. When it goes on sale, it was worth picking up. All right, and so with that one, let's move on to the next thing. You have a program to draw with, right? Now, what to draw? That would be a good question, right? So one of the biggest things that I struggle with is where to find things that I can draw from. And so one thing is to find artists who post pose references. So Adorkastock has been someone I've been following for a very long time. If we go, you can view pose archive, and then you've got just a whole gallery, and they've been posting for a long time. There's 323 images here, and so I just absolutely love looking at these. They've also got a place where you can purchase packs, but a lot of them are free resources, and if you're using them for a drawing, you're totally good. You can use these for commission references. You just cannot repost the image and say that that is your picture. So I think that it's really neat. Here's another, this is their pose archive on here. They also have a great variation of body diversity. So I think that that's super cool. And then they also have these little body suits. So you can see sort of the center lines down the body. And so these are just super cool. And you've got like action poses. You've got somebody with a violin Like right here, you could just draw a whole D&D party shenanigans. So, you know, you can look through these for inspiration. This one with the wings are really cool. And, you know, these sorts of resources are out there. You just have to know where to look for them. And so if you know, let me know more. There's a few I need to compile a bigger list. But Adorkastock was the first to come to mind when I go to find pose references for myself. And another one I've been going to for a long time. I didn't get any sort of pings from my browser about the website. So be careful. I wouldn't download anything because I'm not sure. All the pop-up ads on the sides just made me feel real sketch. So, but nothing I can see. Like everything I can tell, this is still a valid website. So here's the one thing I would tell you to watch out for. Don't really use these ones where they're musculature over a figure, because these are just textures applied to a 3D model, so they're not necessarily accurate. But if you go to some of the actual images that they have, they do full turnarounds of the different poses. So it's really handy to sort of study the body from different angles if you're doing gesture drawings, or maybe something is super, super close, but you wish it was just at a 3/4 turn from the back or directly on. So it's really neat. And I believe Adorkastock also offers ones like these, but those are on the purchased packs through Ko-fi. And so on to another free pose resource. This one is called QuickPoses, and it is super handy. This one I like because you can choose the interval of how long you would like it to hold an image. So say I want to go here to timed practice. This is what I usually do. It'll let you pick the type. So say I just want to practice hands. We can do that. We'll do all, and then I want to give myself 60 seconds, and we'll do 10 of them. So I usually do between 30 and 60 seconds. If I give myself longer than that, I feel like, unless I'm trying to do a more detailed anatomy study, gesture drawings shouldn't really be longer than 60 seconds. You lose the point of the exercise a little bit. So at least to start, get used to these. They get you to work through the full figure instead of focusing on just like the torso. So it gets you into working out the whole figure first, and then sort of getting to flesh out the rest of it. So this one, they're going for 60 seconds. You can pause it, so if you need to take a break, it'll pause it for a few minutes, but so you can't cheat, it hides the image. So I think that's really cool. Like if you dropped your pencil, you're like, oh, I need to grab my pencil. It doesn't keep ticking. And then you can also go, oh, I don't like this one. And you can skip and you can go, okay, I like this. Oh, this is new. Neat. So apparently they've been doing updates to stuff. And then let's see, if I click stop session, does it do it? Yes, sort of. Okay. So because this was the only image I was on, it's the only image shown up here. But once you finish, say, the 10 images, at the end, it'll show you all 10 images that you went through. So you can kind of compare your page to the end results, which I really liked. So QuickPoses is pretty good. The only downside I found was that after a while, it felt more repetitive, and that I was seeing similar poses again. And so what I would probably do to correct that is, at that point, I might go and give myself a longer interval and do a more detailed anatomy study, since it's become familiar. And so it no longer serves as good as a gesture drawing for like new stuff, but I still come back here intermittently and it's great for brushing up on skills. So, what if you need something other than people to draw, though? A recent one I've found here is called Unsplash, and this is, let me see if I can. This is all stuff that you can use to draw from. I actually found this from somebody talking about a painting tutorial. This is where they came to find a landscape that they ended up painting. And it brought me to come and check it out. And I'm pretty impressed. I think it's really neat. And, you know, I went and, let's see, I was looking for spaghetti for a date night piece. Spaghetti. All right. And then look at this. Like, instead of just the Google images and garbage, like, these are actually some pretty nice detailed shots, varying angles. There's like a few of these where I could definitely see maybe using them for some sort of reference. There's a bit of a limitation to them, but if you're trying to do like studies or the like, just something like this is really good. I would dig stuff up on Pinterest before, but Pinterest is really shoddy about like being able to find original sources and stuff, and so I don't always feel good using things from there to, like, I'll use it for inspiration, but I rarely will directly pull anything from Pinterest because I don't know the source. Okay, so say you've made some cool things and you want to share it. It's actually how I make my thumbnail and stuff, is Canva. This one's neat. It's sort of like a free mini graphic design software. Let's pull this one up. It's the thumbnail for my last video, and it's super neat. It's got where you can sort of, it shows you when stuff is centered, and like, so if I wanted this in the middle, I could find where the middle is there, and it tells me where the middle is here, and I can see them lined up next to each other. So if you're trying to like work with some like quick text based stuff, I find that this is a little more fluid and designed for that than something like Clip Studio. And this does have a paid version, but you can access a lot of stuff with the free version. And then honestly, you can make stuff with the paid version and like just leave it there as like a work in progress. And then I paid for the subscription and then I downloaded all the assets that I made. And so now when I make new ones, I'll have to pay for the subscription again. But it's one where there's enough assets that when I can afford it, it's probably going to make the monthly subscriptions that I would take on for my art business, because I get a lot of usage, a lot of usage out of Canva. All right, and then the last one. I would not think that I would be shouting out an Adobe thing, but their color picker is really great. I love this one. So they've got multiple ones. There's one where you can, so this one lets you drag and drop and download an image. Let's throw in an emote. And look at that. So from it, it just automatically took the colors from the image and went, okay, here. And it even shows you the spots from which it took the samples. So that's pretty cool, because I'm assuming that that means I can go, well, I have two yellows that are almost the same. I actually wish that this was the brighter yellow, and I need this one to be the gray, you know. So it actually lets you kind of adjust and sample where you pick the parts from. I think that's super neat, because like say I just wanted to get this like odd shade of purple down there. Maybe I just want the shades of her and not necessarily the orange from the background. So it lets you kind of feel around the picture and find those, that's really cool. I find it super handy. And then the extract a gradient works very similar. This is pretty neat. Sometimes it can help you kind of test out maybe like a background you want to try, or I use this a lot when I'm trying to create OCs and working on new character refs, because it allows me a lot of flexibility to kind of see how these things look. Gradients and such I'll do a lot in the program itself, just because it's pretty easy with the airbrush. But the last thing I'm going to cover here real quick is this, the color wheel. I come here all the time. This guy is my best friend, and I'm going to tell you why. So, it's very easy to go, all right, let's see. This is an oh no, don't make me pronounce stuff. I can say it right in my brain and then it trips over my tongue on the way out, so we'll skip that one. And I can say monochromatic. This one I've got down. So what monochromatic does, if you don't know, is it basically keeps everything in the same hue, and it just messes with the tint. So we'll move over to Triad. This one is basically, and then same thing with complementary, where it just feels out the things that are opposite on the color spectrum. It has split complementary. This is another one of my favorites, where you take two things that are closer on the color wheel and then you find their direct opposite. This is also like one of my, this one demonstrates what I was trying to explain a little bit better, as the color palette here is a bit more cohesive. And then again, you've just got different configurations where it lets you kind of try stuff out and see how they all look together. So if you struggle maybe yourself with deciding what looks good together, or what accents another color, this can be really helpful because it sort of has a method to the madness. And as you get to play around with it more, because you can see how it moves and adjusts, you can kind of pick up on how it's choosing these like structures. You've got something that are very close, and then you've got two things that are kind of across from the way, right? But by choosing these two colors here within the same arc, it makes them more alike than if you chose an orangish red. Not that that would necessarily look bad, but that it would have a different impact on the result. I love playing around with this. So shades is kind of similar to monochromatic. I'm not really sure why they have two separate ones for that, but maybe there's a subtle detail I'm missing. And then the one I use all the time is custom. So this one you can just kind of drag multiple ones wherever you want. Down here, it looks like there's two different tints, so it can either be darker or lighter. So this is definitely something you can play around with. You can also go down here and actually just enter the, I think, yes. You can just enter the hex codes, you can slide stuff around here. So like if you struggle with not knowing what maybe colors look good in a design, this is like one of the best tools you can use. Honestly, oh, wow. And this is actually, they've added a lot since the last time I've messed around with this. And then the last thing you can do is sort of add and remove stuff. So if I only want it to be 3 colors, I can do that. I just click here to add a 4th. So yeah, between this, I mean, you've got programs you can draw on. You've got things you can use for inspiration. You've got subjects to draw, and Now you've also got a way that you can find out what colors look good to maybe use in a color palette. So, yeah, that's all I've really got for you today on these ones. If you happen to know any more free resources yourself that would help artists of any level, let me know. Let's put together some free resources. I've been using Posemaniacs for a long time, and even some of these turnarounds are new. I'm probably gonna go here and look for some next time because, I mean, there's a lot, and the more you draw gesture drawings and the more you draw the human body in different poses and angles, the better your library in your head is. And that's when you get artists. And that's when you get artists. That's my mood today. I forgot my train of thought. Anyways.